Welcome to Gregorian Chat.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
How's it going?
Oh, it's good to be back in the studio.
All right.
I've been missing our old emblem, our old logo.
Good old Gregory.
Brought to you by ACTC, that's Auckland Catholic Tertiary Chaplaincy. Welcome with your hosts,
Dom.
and Dom.
Thank you.
The chaplains here. Two of the chaplains, I should say.
Yes.
This is episode 16.
Sixth what?
And it is entitled
Why Marvel is more Catholic than DC.
That's right. Why Marvel is more Catholic than DC, and the main reason is that Dom is wearing a Marian medal on top of his Marvel shirt, which means automatically
Mary loves Marvel.
that's marvelous.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be talking about this because there's been a lot of hype, one could say, around the topic of Marvel and DC, which is better, you know, which produces the best movies, and that's our particular focus today is on the cinematic experience of these two entities.
Because they've come straight into the people's forefront of knowledge, because they've been comic books for years. But ever since, I guess Iron Man kind of kicked it off, although the Hulk did exist before that. But Iron Man really just kicked it off and brought it into the forefront,
Exactly.
which led into the Avengers.
It's
and
huge.
Such yeah.
So, which is why we thought, well, what's the point in just saying, you know, which is better than the other? We thought, why don't we just cut to the chase and say which is more Catholic?
Yes.
Come on,
'cause
I mean, we're
all
Catholics, right?
Yes.
What are we drinking today, Dom?
We are drinking a little pot of gold,
A little pot of gold, I tell
which
you.
is in a red pot.
Yeah,
of
but just look at that
ceramic.
colour. Look at that colour.
Custard.
Yeah, yellow dog. Yeah, it is like spicy liquid custard. That is exactly how I would describe it. At least we tasted it in the store, I must say. So this is Little Pot of Gold, brought to you by T2, and there's still some left in here. So
Very good. Interesting
have
thing
it,
about this is it's not actually technically a tea.
It's
No
true.
tea leaves involved. It's a tisane. Whether you say tisane or tisane or tisane or
Tarzan.
tis unknown. But also, it's not made with
man.
100% water, more heated milk.
That's right. So if you put 50-50 milk and hot water, you got to make a little paste of it first. There's a lot of turmeric in this. If you smell, it actually smells like Christmas. I
It does,
reckon.
yeah.
I would drink this at Christmas. Let's go. Added a little bit of sugar, but I would have
Yeah.
added honey had we
Nah,
honey. I would have added it.
Yeah.
But man, I love this. This is great. It's like drinking custard, and we can call it tea.
Yes.
Man,
I'm just going to start pouring custard into a mug and just saying, oh yeah, it's that pot of gold. Because I love custard.
cuss you are. What have you been up to lately, Dom?
What have I been up to? Well, last night I bought myself a pair of football boots.
Ah, yes, you did.
Which I haven't had a pair of football boots since I was in secondary school, and I was shocked at how expensive football boots are. Very expensive, but thank God for places like Dressmart.
Oh, well. And people who recommend places like Dressmart, right? So Dom was at work. This is the reason why we have to get Dom some football boots, is that the Diocese of Auckland has asked if we specifically, no, just
By
anyone,
name.
anyone really, can play football for their seven-a-side team on Fridays, which is great. So now we don't only get paid to do podcasts, we get paid to play football.
That's right, and big, but that's a different
I know
story.
you want to be us, but
That's
you might be able to one day.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, so we had to get Dom some football boots, and he's like, oh, I don't know, I've never bought football boots before, I don't know how much they'll be. So I was like, oh, well, let's just look up the Adidas site in Sylvia Park, where you're going to be going to.
It was Rebel Sports, I think.
Rebel Sports.
Yeah.
And it was like, what? $300?
Yes!
And I was like, well, how much do you expect to pay? And he was like, well, I don't know. I'd never actually thought about it before.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, well, $300 is... So we ended up getting Dom some $300 boots from Dressmart for...
Like $90 or something.
$90.
That's right.
So go to Dressmart, get yourself some boots.
Yeah, so I'm all kitted out, ready for...
But yeah, ready for that game. Just don't get concussed again, otherwise we'll have to do another episode wearing helmets.
Yes.
Maybe motorbike helmets.
Yeah, full face. I might actually just wear a helmet in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But it was also quite funny on our way to Dressmart. We saw some funny things. And I might even see if I can just insert this video into the podcast.
It's worth a watch.
At this point, just take a look at this video. So basically, what you've seen there is a guy standing at a rubbish bin at a main street in Onehunga,
on the
Auckland.
corner.
And there's a fire in the rubbish bin.
And he's warming himself.
He's
on
just
it.
warming his hands. He's not. This is not an old homes guy.
No,
this
it's
is like a young school
Teenager, yeah. Something you might see like under a bridge in a broken trash can in like America, some city somewhere. No, on the main street in Onehunga.
This shows you how too real, man. Too real. That's
You can tell it's getting colder.
that's right.
But that bin, that was lit.
It was a rubbish joke, bro.
Start trashing all my jokes.
Wow, been there, done that.
Okay, I'll bag it up.
I bet you can.
Bet you can. Anyway,
Yes.
you trash panda.
What does it even mean? So, we've it's been good times. It's been good times here at Chaplaincy. I'm loving this tea. But getting on to topic.
Let's go on to
We've
topic.
been lollygagging enough already in this episode.
That's true. That's true. And so what we're going to do is we're going to tell you why Marvel is more Catholic than DC,
Oh, man.
and for many reasons. One being it's far superior.
That's the number one reason.
It is. It is.
Like,
I'm starting a fight right now.
ontologically superior.
Yes. It's so I mean the reason that I brought it up is like I've actually been talking about this for a while, not just because I'm I wouldn't say a huge Marvel fan, but
Well, you're pretty big.
I'm not a DC fan.
Yeah.
I like
You're
all-
not anti-DC though, right?
Yeah, I'm
like
all-
you're just not.
I love comic book movies and storylines, and I love like all the intricacies of it all. However, Marvel just really that's where I go. That's where that's my jam.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And for myself, just to quickly clarify, I'm not really huge. I'm not really a huge fan of Marvel. I like Marvel movies, and I do love a couple of DC movies, like The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, freaking awesome movies. But all we want to do today is just be like, well, some people just love bagging marbles,
Yes.
you know.
well, and it's just because it's so good.
And that's
Because
what we're going to discuss today.
Yeah, so my original premise as to why it's more Catholic has more to do with the devotional side of it.
Here we go.
What? Devotional?
You put the D in
Mo-
devotional.
That's what I do.
'Cause you're
That's-
Dom.
That's my name, Dominic. Anyway, so I'm big on devotions as well. I've been told I'm an uber Catholic, which means I drive people around and be Catholic.
Did we talk about this? There's actually an idea to do Uber Catholic. You know how you've got like
Oh, yeah.
Uber Eats, you got like
Yeah.
Uber Business, Uber X.
Pick up people to go take them to
Catholic.
mass.
Don't steal that, please.
Yeah,
Carry on.
copyrighted. Anyway,
Uber Catholic.
so
You've been told you're an Uber Catholic.
I've been told which means very Catholic.
Yeah.
And I also have been told I'm a massive Marvel fan, which is true. And so I'm big on devotionals, hence the consecration to Mary, in the Miraculous Medal. I love praying the Rosary, all sorts of those other things. And in doing this, I noticed that there is a correlation between Catholic devotions and the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Uh-huh.
So, what are devotions? Devotions are generally to saints or to Mary, or like wearing the scapular and
The
it's
child Jesus,
the child Jesus.
baby Jesus.
And these things are there to help us connect with these amazing people that have gone before us, that have succeeded in the journey. They have got to the end point where we're all headed home, which is heaven. And so they are saints. And so we look to them, we read up on their lives, and we follow in their paths. We read their readings. We pray with them, and they pray for us, so that we may too get into heaven. And it's kind of like getting in a slipstream when you're riding your bike, and that creates a vacuum and pulls you towards the person in
I
front.
like that analogy.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So that's what a devotional is. And one thing that's key in a devotional is that it's all pointed back to the same thing, heaven, or the Mass, where heaven comes to earth in the Eucharist, the most amazing thing that happens in the whole wide world. Every Sunday, every church, Jesus
That's right.
is there present in the Eucharist, and that means heaven's come to earth, and in that moment we get to engage in that. And this is what devotions are driving us towards. When I did the consecration to Mary, initially I was a bit put off by it, because it's called consecration to Mary, and I'm like, hang on a second. I love Mary, don't get me wrong, but I'm a Jesus guy.
Mhm.
You know, Jesus is God, Son of God. He's the reason that we're here for. But in going through that course of following the teachings of Saint Louis de Montfort, it wasn't actually, you know, you did learn about Mary and the significance of Mary in ways that I didn't know about, but I also learned, more importantly, about the power of the Mass.
That's right.
And all the teachings of the Church. And that's what it's about. All devotionals are leading us into this one overarching thing, which is heaven, which we see in Mass.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different factors that go into that. You know, there are a lot of different things feeding that, you know, our path to heaven, like you're saying, devotionals.
Yep.
Different aspects, different sacraments.
Yes.
Things which sometimes seem a lot like we use them less, you know, but they're still so important.
Yes.
And that
is where Marvel comes in. Not so like you may be still trying to follow me here, but like basically, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we have the Avengers, the awesome movie which brings all together these amazing people: Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Bruce Banner. All these people come together.
Nick Fury,
and they are super people. And one thing that, you know, that the reason that I love Marvel is that it goes really into the character development. When you're watching Iron Man, you're not just watching Iron Man, you're watching Tony Stark, who is a flawed human being, who is weak, but also has this amazing power, this amazing, like, superhuman intelligence and being able to create things, essentially, is his power. You have,
Captain America, who's you know, he is a man, and he was just a man, and then, you know, there was that accident, and he volunteered, right?
Yeah, so
he volunteered and became a superhuman.
Yes.
Which is different from a super alien such as Superman.
Yes.
It was more like an Ubermensch. I was going to throw that out there.
Yeah. And so, like, with Marvel, you have these really relatable characters that are just humans that have a power, and then they use it for the good.
Of course, there are people like Thor, you know,
who is
not
like
human.
a demigod kind of human kind of thing.
So there are people in there, but overall, the focus of Marvel, we'd argue, is more on the human. It's more on the relatable, and the attainable.
And so you can follow, and like bring it back to the movies, is like you follow Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, and it leads you to the Avengers. And whereas you can watch all those movies and like Captain
Thor,
America 1, Thor 1, and it's all leading to the first Avengers movie. Which then goes off, and you have Iron Man 3, you have Thor Ragnarok, which is coming out, you have all these other movies, which then are leading towards this other culmination of all these things. And so there's the initial kind of point of reference of like, why is it more Catholic? Because it's not itself power. It is, all the characters are leading to something greater, which is the Avengers Assemble, or which is fighting this mighty power. And in Catholicism, we are encouraged to engage with these people, saints, who, as St. Augustine said, all sinners have a future, all saints have a past. And we learned that, like, Tony's not perfect. Steve wasn't always. He was a weakling. I mean,
and they still make some hard decisions and make them badly.
Yeah, and like Iron Man 3, you see Tony's like complete like psychological damage after having done the Avengers.
So going back to this point about, so you got like Captain America, right? He's a man, and I also, something I did a bit of research. Captain America's character was written Catholic.
That's right.
As in, like, when they came up with Captain America, can't remember the guy's name, was like, all right, well, I'm going to make this guy Catholic. And the same thing is with Daredevil. If you've ever watched Daredevil, I mean, it's not exactly, it doesn't reek of like good Catholicism, but I heard a comment where somebody said, well, you know, why the guy who wrote Daredevil's character, he said, only a Catholic could be both a vigilante and a lawyer at the same time.
I don't understand it, but I agree with it.
You can take it or leave it. But anyway, and I actually looked up, there's a Marvel database, and it has a whole list of all the Marvel characters who are Catholic, and there are like heaps of them.
I'm
talking tens and tens.
There's 10.
No, there's more than that. I actually didn't know most of them.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, so that's just a small point.
Yes.
But anyway, so you got Captain America, and then you've got Superman, right? And the thing is with like, there have been maybe some good Superman movies, and we're focusing more on the cinematic experience, of course.
Yeah.
But the idea is, you know, you learned a lot about Steve Rogers and who he was as just a human, right? And you were saying about like Smallville. If you watch Smallville, you understand more about who Clark Kent is.
Yes.
But in terms of like recent, what we would call recent cinematic experience, that's RCE for the simpletons. You basically, there's not that much that you really know. Like, and you were saying with Superman, because he's so powerful, you know, the movie becomes about his powers. Like he's unstoppable. Like he can't get shot.
Yeah.
He has lasers coming out of his eyes. He can
Super
fart,
strength.
and the world will like wind comes out his bum.
Yeah.
And just everything. And
I mean,
so it's
just
like, well, what
as
is
a concept, I don't like the idea of Superman just because it's like, let's make a superhero. What can he do? Everything.
Yeah.
And shoot lasers from his eyes and blow people away with his breath and turn back time if he flies around Earth real fast and stuff.
Whereas like with Captain America, it's like he's strong. He's hella strong, but he's got to work a lot harder. It seems. I mean, Superman comes across some difficulties.
Yes.
But you know, a lot of the time you're also saying that Marvel characters are wrestling with themselves, and they're wrestling more with like internal things that are going on. And the pressure that comes from being a superhero, which is exactly what we see with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. You know, this is a seminal time. He's about to go and complete his mission on Earth, and you see, you know, it's a very human scene of Jesus in the garden, and that's what you see with like Iron Man as the movies go on. Not saying he's a perfect Christ figure, but just saying like it focuses more on like this is human. This is very human.
The higher upness of it as well, and like they're very much like it's like with the DC characters. What I see is it's always a kind of, you know, the Batman movies are about Batman. They're not about Bruce Wayne, although he does make a feature and he's part of it. It's kind of like, you know, we take it, it's Batman Begins, and you kind of see the Genesis story there, and you see the weakness of Bruce Wayne when it comes into the later movies when he has like injured knees and stuff, so he needs the technology to sort him out. But that's just referring to like the physical weaknesses of it. Like other than that, you don't know who Bruce Wayne is. I mean. The movies are like Batman Begins. Okay, we find out who Batman is, and but then it's like then Batman fights Joker, then Batman fights Bane. It's not like as we see like for example with Iron Man, which is I think it's the closest correlation across is you see Tony Stark invent kind of the Iron Man character, which is kind of like Batman Begins, I guess, and it develops a bit further in Iron Man 2. When someone it's fighting the battles that are like a natural progression of like someone then tries to copy him and they can't, and then we have Avengers where you see all the characters come together. And
so in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is basically it's much closer to the richness and the beauty of the Catholic Church, whereas DC, on the other hand, is more closely resembles solitary half-pie Protestantism.
Exactly.
And that's just how it is, all right? Furthermore, there are scriptures to back up this, what we've been talking about. Psalm 71 verses 7 says, I have become a marvel to many, for you are my strong refuge. Okay, so the psalmist is saying, you know, I've become a marvel. I'm such a fan, I've actually become a marvel myself. In Luke 7 verses 9, this is when Jesus meets the centurion.
Right.
And this phrase, you know, this story has gone on to be inside the Mass. And it says, when Jesus heard this, he marveled at him. So then Jesus encouraged the centurion to be a Marvel fan.
And that, guys, right there is proof texting.
So we're actually going to do a bit of a follow-up video to somebody's, I'd say, review of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
If you can call it that.
Well, you know, we'll do a little bit of a rebuttal video next week, so stay tuned for that. But until then, go and get yourself some little pot of gold.
Yeah, a little pot of
marvelous.
gold. It is fantastic. Oh yeah, very good. Which in Spanish is maravilloso.
But keep it Catholic, keep it marvelous.
God bless.
Kia ora.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. We're certainly enjoying making it. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Auckland Catholic Tertiary Chaplaincy.
Also, follow us on Facebook at Facebook.com/The Chaplains.
Or you can find us on Instagram at Auckland Catholic Chaplaincy.
We also have a webpage, www.newmanhall.org.nz.
If you're going to be online, make sure that you like, you share, and comment in the box, maybe if you have some extra stuff to add to the conversation. Thanks.
God bless.